बिलनी की बैर सुदामा की टंडुल रुचि रुचि भोग लगाओ प्यारी मोहन दुर्योधन का मेवा त्यागे साग विदुर घर का वो प्यारी मोहन विदुर घर का वो प्यारी मोहन आवो भोग लगाओ जो कोई तुम्हारा भोग लगावे सुख संपत्ति घर का वो प्यारी मोहन कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी वीनाथ नारायण वासुदेवा आयन वासुदेवा पितु मात स्वामी सका हमारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा तुम ही हो माता पिता तुम ही हो तुम ही हो बंधु सखा तुम ही हो ओ बोलो श्री कृष्ण गो
मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
मैं तो आरती उतारो राधे श्याम की रे
ओ मैं तो आरती उतारूं राधे श्याम की
राधे श्याम की रे मूर्ति धाम की रे
ओ राधे श्याम की रे मूर्ति धाम की के
ओ मैं तो आरती उतारो राधे श्याम की रे
मैं तो आरती उतारी राधे श्याम जी की
हृदय के कपाट को भक्ति के गले डोर मधुर नाम बोल बोल युगल चरण जी हरे राधे श्याम की रे ओ मैं तो आरती उतारो राधे श्याम की रे राधे श्याम की रे मूर्ति धाम की रे राधे श्याम की रे मैं तो आरती उतारो राधे श्याम की रे मैं तो आरती उतारो राधे श्याम की रे Tabla Church. What number is that? I'm in harmonious singer. Yeah. With that mark harmonious.
Both of them are up.
Huh?
Both is on. Okay, this one is on.
Test.
Yeah.
The black one is too loud though. Small black one. It's going to pick up his voice in the harmonium. Dinesh, you got to start. You can't play around with that. That's line up. Don't carry too low. You got to pick up your voice. You got to play louder than your voice.
जन्म तेरा जन्म
Finish.
मन लागो ओ मेरो मन लागो या फकीरी मैं ओ या फकीरी मन लागो प्रेम नगर में रहनी हमारी रे प्रेम नगर में
कन्हैया 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 तुझे आना पड़ेगा वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
कन्हैया कन्हैया तुझे आना पड़ेगा वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
गोकुल में आया मथुरा में आया
गोकुल में आया मथुरा में आया
छवि प्यारी प्यारी कहो देख
छवि प्यारी प्यारी कहीं को दिखा
अरे सावरे देखो आंखें सरा सुनी सुनी परी है तेरे द्वार का कन्हैया 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 तुझे आना पड़ेगा वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
कोई तेरी गैया कबाली नहीं
कोई तेरी गैया कबाली नहीं
अमानत भी तेरी संभाली नहीं
अमानत भी तेरी संभाली नहीं
कोई कंस भारत में पैदा हुए कपट से कोई घर भी खाली नहीं कन्हैया 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 तुझे आना पड़ेगा वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा
वचन गीत वाला निभाना पड़ेगा हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे मुरारी
हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे मुरारी
जय जय गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
जय जय गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे मुरारी
हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे मुरारी
जय जय गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
जय जय गोवर्धन गिरिधारी
जय जय गोवर्धन गिरि
राधे 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 गोविंद राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे गोविंद राधे
गोविंद राधे
गोविंद राधे
अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंद
अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंदा
अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंदा
अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंदा
राधे 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 गोविंदा चंद्रा
वृंदावन चंद्रा
राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा
अनाथ नाथा दीना बंधु राधे गोविंदा
अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंदा राधे 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 गोविंदा राधे 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 गोविंदा वृंदावन चंदा
वृंदावन चंदा
अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधु राधे गोविंदा. Pandit Boj? One more? One more? One more?
Okay. Prem se bolo Kanhaiya Lal ki jai. Reverend Vyasji, Guruji, devotees all, this bright and sunny morning, we are here to enjoy the glories of Lord Krishna through the medium of the Bhagvat Mahapuran. Let us enjoy and try not to waste the few other sessions while we are here. Please take something with us so that we can deal with the challenges of life when it comes in different form, different shape. I am sure that last night we had a very beautiful session like the other nights, but now we are getting into the Leelas of Bhagwan Krishna, and that is to keep us closer and closer to him. With the philosophical teachings that we had during the course of the week, and still we are having, it helps us to understand that we are no different from the Lord. We must be aware of this, and then we can enjoy our life. So I'll ask Babaji now to commence. Bolo Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki jai.
Om, page 22. Om yan mandalang dip karang vishalam ratnang prabalti brahmanadi rupam daridya dukh Chaikaranancha punatumam tatsaviturvarenyam
Swaha
Yanmandalam devaganaisu pujitang vipraistutang bhavana mukti kovidam Tam deva devam
Pranamami
Suryam punatumam tatsaviturvarenyam Yanmandalam Gyanaganam Dvagamyam Trailokya Pujam Trigunatmarupam Samasta Tejo Maya Devya Rupam Punatumam Tatsaviturvarenyam Yanmandalam Gudamati Prabodham Dharmasya Vriddhim Kurute Jananam Yat Sarva Pap Chaikaranancha punatumam tatsaviturvarenyam
Swaha
Om Bhurbhuvah Svah tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha Om Bhurbhuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha Om Mityaya Namaha
Swaha
Om Ravaye Namaha
Swaha
Om Suryaya Namaha Om Bhanave Namaha
Swaha
Om Khagaya Namaha
Swaha
Om Pushne Namaha
Swaha
Om Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha
Swaha
Om Marichiye Namaha
Swaha
Om Adityaya Namaha
Swaha
Om Savitre Namaha.
Swaha.
Om Arakaya Namaha.
Swaha.
Om Bhaskara Namaha.
Swaha.
Adideva Namastubhyam. Prasida Mama Bhaskaram. Divakar Namastubhyam. Prabhakar Namostute. Swaha. Again, I tell you, sometimes you would like to do some prayers at home, and you don't want to get involved in getting people to come, and etc. Preparation. Have a little Havan Kund, small little fire. You can make it with cotton wool, and you can do, if it's summer and you have a patio, you can go outside. If you have a nice green lawn, you can take your Havan Kund there, because it's so nice to do it in the open air. When I go to Guyana, that's how I do Havan, in the open air under a tree. And so, take this book, use it. You do this prayer, especially for a Sunday morning early, or anytime. Doesn't matter, Sunday, Monday, all is the same. But Sunday morning early, you get up, have your bath and so, and if you can get up at 5 or 6 even, and by 7 you're ready to go to do your Havan. Sit down mentally and you do your Havan. This will give you so much of energy. This whole world is made up of energy. And if you get the energy, you know where you're getting the energy from? Where are you getting it from? From the
Sun.
And there's no greater energy than the sun's energy. We all know that. Solar power is one of the greatest power. We don't even use 1% of the solar power upon Earth today. 1% we don't even use. So you can imagine how much more is there for all of us to use. The whole idea of Buddhist Katha is not to hear me read or saying. The whole idea of the Katha, it is only successful if you can develop something that will make your life better. Then the Katha is successful. Otherwise, it's not successful. To come and just listen and to sing and so, it's okay. But if you can take something and say, you know what, I will do this today. You don't have to. If you're doing it already, you don't have to. But what I'm saying, for those who feel that you must do something, this is something that you can do. If you do not have to have a murti, you can do manas puja. The sun, and the thing about doing this to the sun, you don't have to have flowers, you don't have to have anything. You just have a little Havan. Or you can do mental Havan. This is what I would like to explain to you. You can do your Havan mentally. Mentally you can do your Havan. Believe me, you can do it mentally. But when you do it, for you to do it mentally, it would have meant that you had to do it before. So you understand what I'm saying? So when you do it mentally, it has an effect. So whether you do it mentally or otherwise, it's very important that this should be done. You agree with that, Boj? Om Banshi Vibhushita Karan Navani Radabhat Pitambarad Arunabimba Palam Darushtat Purnendu Sundara Mukhad Arabinda Netrat Krishnat Param Kimapitattvamaham na janem Krishna Twadiyadapadapam Kajapanjarante अद्वैवमे विशतु मानसराजहंसां प्राणाप्रयाण समये कफवातपित्तये कण्ठावरोधनविधौ स्मरणं कुतस्ते हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राधे गोविंद
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda.
हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राधे गोविंद
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda.
हरे कृष्ण हरे राम
Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda.
बोलो हरे कृष्ण हरे राम
Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda.
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा
Oh, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
हरे कृष्ण हरे राम
Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda.
हरे कृष्ण हरे राम
Radhe Govinda.
हरे कृष्ण हरे
Oh,
राम
Radhe Govinda.
हरे कृष्ण हरे राम
Radhe Govinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Govinda.
हरे कृष्ण हरे राम
Radhe Govinda.
Today we pray for that Jivatma of Pandit Gokaran Sharma. Today would have been 28 years since he passed. We ask that Bhagwan bless his Jivatma and all his family, his Dharampati, his brother. May they continue to live in his memory, which were very pleasant memories when he was a Pandit. Also today I would like to wish happy birthday to Vikram Khurana's father. He's 89 years old today. And we cannot forget about, is it 2 years ago, Pandit Boj? 2 years ago when he gave us a check for $100,000 for the dialysis clinic. So we would like to do this prayer for both Pandit Gokaranji and also for Mr. Khurana, and ask that Bhagwan may bless and keep him. Aye, Panditji. Panditji ko bula bhai. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurube Deva Sarvakayeshu Sarvada Satchidananda Rupaya
Satchidananda Rupaya
Vishvotpatyadi Hetave
Vishvarpatyadi Hetave
Tapatyai Vinashaya
Tapatraya Vinashaya
Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha
Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha.
We welcome Parithadat to our Bhagavad Yagna and his son. Parithadat himself is a Bhagavati Pandit, and he has come from that kul where his grandfather, who was a very close friend of my father, Pandit Radha Krishna, very, very, very learned. One of the most learned Pandits in our time in Guyana, one who knew Sanskrit and I always remember my father telling me that when some of the Pandits were giving him trouble, he said, "Can you come to in Sanskrit? Come to in Sanskrit and let me hear." So he was a very noble gentleman, and this is one of his progeny. So we welcome him, and also I must thank him for carrying out this great tradition, because he's young. Those of us who are on our way out, Gata Sunscha Nanya Sochanti Pandita. Chapter 2, verse 11, and of Gita. So those of us who are going, those who he is here to uphold our dharma for many, 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 many years to come. So I welcome you. Swagatam. Shri Krishna Govind
Hari Murari He Nath Narayan Vasudeva
Shri Krishna Govind Hare Murare
He Nath Narayan Vasudeva
Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhim Pullara Bindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipa Yang Pravachantam Anupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayanam Viraha Katara Ajuhavam Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Binedo Tam Sarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosvim. This is how the old Pandits used to read in Guyana. You know, all these beautiful shlokas are so Ya Kulda Indu Tushadahara Ya Shubra Ya Veena Varadanda Mandita Kara Ya Shweta Padamasanam Ya Brahm Achayuta Shankara Praprite Bheda Devai Sada Banditam Samang Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesha Chadyapaham. When I used to read Bhagvat in Guyana, I had qualified, I came back as a doctor, and I used to read. My father had already passed, unfortunately. My brothers will tell me that you can't read this shloka like Pa. Is that true? Right. So, so when I came over here, I had to try to learn it properly. So, and those are the joys of growing up in a home where these things are done all the time. Like last Saturday, I told you, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Anityam Anakasham. My father, when he used to have his shower, he used to sing this. So I did not know it from a book. But when I came, I saw it here. So all these things, when you're growing up in a family, in a home of Pandits, you hear this every day. And what? It remains with you. And that's the joy of it. So it's nice to see Pandit Harat again. I was a Damodar Stotra. Is that your book? Can you give Pandit Harat a book, please? He doesn't need a book, but Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nath Narayana
Vasudeva
Radhabindena Padarabindam Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath
नारायण वासुदेवा
Where you have a good musician, when you're not in tune, she can put you in tune. Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
Vikritu Kama Khila Gopakalya Murari Pada Chita Vita Vritti Datyati Kammo Havashada Vochat
गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति
Govinda Damodara Madhavete
गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति
Gahe Gahe Gopavadhu Kadamba Sarve Militva Samavapya Yogam Punyani Namani Patarta Nityam
गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति
Govinda Damodara Madhavete
गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति
Sri Krishna Radha Vara Gokulesha Gopala Govardhananath Vishnu Jive Pivasva Mritameka Deva
गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति
Govinda Damodara Madhavete
गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति
Prata Smarami. I've been trying to teach this text for the last few days. And in Prata Smarami, I want you to look at this. The first shloka is Prata Smarami Hridi Sansfuratma Tattvam. Is there a copy that we give Parithadat if he wants to follow it? Satchit Sukham Paramahansa Gatim Turiyam. I want you to look at this. The first shloka, it says Prata Smarami. Got it? Second shloka is that what? In the early dawn, early morning, I remember. Prata Smarami. Second shloka, it says Prata Bhajami. See that? I know worship. And many people feel that Advaita, the followers of Advaita, they should not do worship. But here's Shankara himself. This is made by Jagat Guru Adi Shankara. He says first, I mean, there are lots more. I explained that to you already, but I just want to bring this point to you today. First, he says Prata Smarami. Then he says, no, Prata Bhajami. I worship who? I worship the Lord. And the last shloka, because there are only 3 shlokas in it, he says, Prata Namami. Look at the third shloka. Prata Namami Tamasa Paramarkavaranam Puram Sanatanapadam Purushottamakyam. Purushottam. Purushottam. Uttam Purush. The highest Purush. He also says, Pratar Namami, I salute. I salute who? I salute Tamasa. I salute that darkness. That darkness, remove that darkness so that I can get that Param Kavaranam Purnam Sanatanam Param Purushottamakyam. I want to get that Purna. Like we say Purna Midam Purna. So Bhagwan is saying, that Jagat Guru Shankaracharya is saying, he said, remember, worship, and salute. These three. Salute means when you salute someone means you really honor them. And he's telling you that not because you're a follower of Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, I've told you all this which Veda they came from before. It does not mean that you cannot do bhakti. So when you are doing your bhakti, when you are doing your agarbatti and pandit using banaspati and so forth, and you are doing it, you must do it with your heart filled with that love. Tamasa. Remove. Tamasa means what? Darkness. Remove that darkness from me, Prabhu, so that I can appreciate you. When there's darkness, we can't appreciate. We come here to get gyan. We come here to get wisdom. That's what we all are here for. Me, you, all of us. And when we get that gyan and we remove that darkness from us, then we can appreciate Prabhu much more. And from time to time, darkness comes in our lives. As I said, darkness comes in our life from time to time. It does not mean that because you come here, because you do your puja, because you do whatever, darkness and obstacles will not come to you, but darkness and obstacles should make you stronger. Not only make you stronger, make your faith stronger. Your faith must be stronger. And when your faith is stronger, let me tell you, when your faith is strong and you know you are doing something that is for the good of the world or the good of humanity or whatever the case may be, and your faith becomes so strong, there's hardly any, I want you to remember, I'm not saying difficulty will not come to you. I'm not saying disease, entity will not come to you. I'm not saying that people will not harm you from time to time. I'm not saying that people will look at you and talk negatively. All this will happen. But you will be so strong. You'll be so strong that it means nothing to you. And then what you do? You revel in the name of the Lord. Nikunja me biraje Ghanasham Radhe Radhe.
निकुंज में विराजे घनश्याम राधे राधे
Shyam Radhe Radhe Ghanasham Radhe Radhe.
श्याम राधे राधे घनश्याम राधे राधे
Shyam Radhe Radhe Ghanasham Radhe Radhe.
श्याम राधे राधे घनश्याम राधे राधे
Nikunja me biraje Ghanasham Radhe Radhe.
निकुंज में विराजे घनश्याम राधे राधे
राधे राधे राधे मेरे श्याम से मिला दे.
राधे 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 मेरे श्याम से मिला दे
राधे 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 मेरे श्याम से मिला दे.
राधे 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 मेरे श्याम से मिला दे
राधे 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 घनश्याम से मिला दे.
राधे 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 घनश्याम से मिला दे
उनकी रहमत का झूमर सजाया है.
उनकी रहमत का झूमर सजाया
Rahmat means
है
grace, His daya, His compassion. And what do you say? उनके रहमत का झूमर सजाया है.
उनकी रहमत का झूमर सजाया है
कमली वाले के महफिल सजे हैं.
कमली वाले
that what? Ganga is flowing here, Yamuna is flowing here. And this last one, I have this feeling that तेरे महफिल में करुणा भरी. You are filled with compassion. Show some compassion to me, my Lord. मुझको महसूस ये हो रहा है.
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 तेरे महफिल में करुणा भरे है.
वो तेरे महफिल में करुणा भरी है. उनकी रहमत का झूमर सजाया है. उनकी रहमत का झूमर सजाया है.
कुंज में भी राधे घनश्याम राधे राधे.
निकुंज में भी राधे घनश्याम राधे राधे.
श्याम राधे राधे घनश्याम राधे राधे.
श्याम राधे राधे घनश्याम राधे राधे.
कुंज में विराजे घनश्याम. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद.
हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा.
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा.
धन्यवाद. सूर्यता में बचो गोपाल. ये तो शंका चवो भके. हेदम कुमार मुद्दिश्य गर्गो में यदुवाचा.
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा.
वर्णस्वय किलास्यासन. श्रीवन्तो दुर्गाङ्गनो. शुक्लो रक्ततथा पीता. इदानीं कृष्णतावता.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय.
प्रगयं वसुदेवस्य. वज्जिज्जात्ववात्मज. वासुदेव इति श्रीमान्. विद्यासम्पचक्षते.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय.
नंद बाबा ने कहा, हे गोपी, तुम लोग सावधान होकर मेरी बात सुनो. So भगवान कृष्ण lifted up Mount Govardhan. Nanda Baba said to them, सावधान, listen to what I'm saying to you. मेरे बालक के विषय में तुम्हारी शंका दूर हो जाए, क्योंकि महर्षि गर्ग ने इस बालकों को देखकर इससे विषय में ऐसा ही कहा था. Who was Garg? Anybody remember Garg? Who was Garg? Garg was a person who came to do what to Bhagwan Krishna? Huh? Namkaran sanskar. And where did he do the Namkaran sanskar? Anybody remember? In the Kaushan. This is the old ancient tradition. As a matter of fact, people don't even do Namkaran sanskar now. Hardly people do Namkaran sanskar. Am I right, Panditji? Hardly people. But because we are talking about it, because those who know, those Pandits who know, and they are talking about it, more and more people now are beginning to do Namkaran sanskar, who never used to do Namkaran sanskar before. Will you agree with that, Pandit Bhoj? So, our job is to talk and to tell, and hopefully our beautiful, rich culture will remain. You know, every Jew, they will do bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, both boy and girl. And there's a problem occurs here when we do upnain. When we do upnain sanskar, it's only done for boys. And we want to know why it's not done for girls. But Swami Dayanand, Rishi Swami Dayanand, who was Arya Samaj, who brought Arya Samaj, he used to do Upnayana sanskar for girls also. Anyhow, that's a topic for another time. If we continue these topics, we'll never read any Bhagvat here. So, Garg Rishi, he came and he did Nam. So Namkaran sanskar is something that we must do. We must try to do. Because these are, I was talking about Bar Mitzvah, Bat Mitzvah, every Jew will do that. Every single Jew will do that up to today. Because this is putting them, all these prayers is enriching the quality of the thinking of the individual. When Namkar sanskar is done, we have 16 sanskars. Change with us, bore the ears, etc., etc. But if you can keep a few, which is so, and you know what? One sanskar which is so important that we should do, when our mothers are getting their babies, before the baby is delivered, that's a very, very important sanskar to do. Especially if it's done in the third trimester of pregnancy. And it's called Garbhadhan sanskar, am I right, Padimoj? So, in that sanskar, the fetus, while it's in the mother's womb, can listen and learn from the outside. And our scriptures are replete with stories like this. We know this with Hiranyakashipu. When Prahlad was in his mother's womb, he was taught all the bhakti by Narad Muni. When Abhimanyu was in his mother's womb, his father Arjun was telling his mother about the Chakravyu, but he heard only up to the 7th gate. Unfortunately, he didn't hear up to the 8th gate, and he was completely murdered. So everything that is in our scripture, we should try to practice. It is reading the story to you is one. Most of us know the story. Most of us have forgotten the story. But it doesn't matter. We are here to remind you. To remind you about what? Remind you about these important entities that our Dharma teaches us. Namkaran sanskar. When you do Namkaran sanskar, the father will go and will say the name of the child, the baby, in the baby's ear. That's an important. When else is the ear used? Anybody knows?
Guru Diksha.
Diksha. During Diksha. Because through the ear, I don't want to go too medical here, but through the ear, it goes right into the brain. It'd be difficult. The eye will take you right into the brain too, because the optic nerve comes from the brain. But into the ear, it stimulates that, what they call the auditory stimuli. It goes into the brain, and it is said the child memory gets better, his listening capacity gets better. And when the guru do the diksha, in the olden days they will cover the guru and am I right, Padimoj? They cover the guru with a sheet, and he gives the diksha so no one can hear. And it is said that you are not supposed to say your guru mantra to anyone. Why? It's not because you can't say it, but it loses its vitality. It loses its energy. You remember when I told you about the Om? You remember the Om sign? And I told you it represented the 3 states of consciousness. Remember? Awake, deep sleep, and dream. And then the Bindu is disconnected from the Om. The Bindu is not connected to the Om. And for you to go there, you have to get a guru who will teach you to go there. And you can go there by doing Prata Smarami, by remembering the Lord, Prata Bhajami, by singing His glory and doing His worship, and Prata Namami, by doing salutations to the Lord. And when you do that early in the morning, and I gave you the page in your book, but the Surya mantra, you have 12 names of Surya. I can't remember what page it is now, but 12 names of Surya. And I told you, if early morning you want to do the puja by yourself, use this book and use the names of the sun, what is there, and that will help you to get there. Sri Krishna Govind.
गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा।
और इसके विषय में ऐसा ही कहा था. What is, I'm reading and all of you all come to the same time. You disturb me, right? Okay. तुम्हारा यह बालक प्रत्येक युग में शरीर ग्रहण करता है. This is Garg Rishi speaking about who? About baby Krishna. तुम्हारा यह बालक प्रत्येक युग में शरीर ग्रहण करता है. विभिन्न युगों में इसने श्वेत, रक्त और पीत ये भिन्न भिन्न रंग स्वीकार किए थे. इस बार यह कृष्ण वर्ण हुआ है. What Krishna word means? Suraj, you don't know? Look at the short. You got to tell you what. Okay, you got a black. Is it black? Is black or blue? What you got here? Krishna word means what? Black. Bhagwan Krishna was blue in color. That is why when we do Satyanarayana Puja, the first sloka of Satyanarayana Puja that we read every full moon day, how does it go? I can't remember. I forgot. Neelavarnam Pitavasram Srivats. No, you all know every Satyanarayana day I read for every single. What? If I can remember, and I'm an old fella, you all are young. How come you all can't remember? I don't believe that. Neelavarnam Pitavasram. So, the Lord Garg Rishi is was telling Nanda Baba that in this age he will come as the blue boy of Vrindavan. Neelavarnam Pitavasram, the blue color represents, that you should know. What the blue color represents? Infinity. And what the yellow color represent? Earth. Why? That the earth is yellow, but if you take a piece of earth and you burn it over a Bunsen burner, you get a yellow flame of silicon dioxide, and that is yellow in color. So this Hinduism is a religion of symbols, symbology. It is not that we are pagans. It is not that we are idol worshippers, but it is for us to understand that because we can't focus on that Brahman. Remember I told you that? What did I say? Janmadyasya yato vedayati rata cheshta vijnana swarat tene brahma hrida cha adi kavaye bhuyantu yatsurayam tejo vari mridang yatha binimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna swena sada nirastara kuhakam. What? Satyam Param. You all are singing like Pandits now. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Vyasji is saying, Janma Adyasya Yato Navayadi Taratas. Janma Adyasya. That same word comes from Brahma Sutra. The second verse of the Brahma Sutra is what? Is Janmadyasya Yataha. So that he wrote the Brahma Sutra first. He wrote Vedas, he wrote the Brahma Sutra, he wrote all these things. But yet he was, you all remember? He was not happy until Narad came and told him, you have written all this Brahma Sutra, the Vedas, Upanishads, all these things you have written, but you have not written the stories of the Leelas of Bhagwan. Charo yugana mein naam tumhara pyare Krishna Kanhaiya ho.
चारों युगन में नाम तुम्हारा प्यारे कृष्ण कन्हैया हो.
Krishna Kanhaiya यमुना किनारे प्रभु के नखिलैया नागन छैया हो
चारों युगन में नाम तुम्हारा प्यारे कृष्ण कन्हैया हो
चारों युगन में नाम तुम्हारा
प्यारे
कृष्ण My father wrote this. My father, when my father used to read, Paritharda's grandfather used to come. He used to make him come. And in the temple, he has a rocking chair. He'll put him to sit there. His grandfather. And my father would read. Boys, you don't know that. You are too small. Oh, कहा मैं था तुम्हारा यह बालक प्रत्येक युग में शरीर ग्रहण करता है विभिन्न युगों में ये श्वेत रक्त और पीत ये भिन्न भिन्न रंग स्वीकार किए थे इस बार यह कृष्ण वर्ण हुआ है और so you understand what is the word Krishna means? Krishna, what does it mean?
to attract
Huh?
to attract
Ah, you see how knowledgeable of people are? Yeah? You know, attract. I have to tell you know the first time I was told that Krishna means to attract, akarshan. You know who told me that, Pandit Sat's brother-in-law, Ram Saran Sankar. He had come to my home. He was leaving, and I can't remember how it came up. And then he says, Krishna means akarshan, the ones who attract. And then when I did not know, and then when I went and I read and I see that this means Krishna means I attract. What does Ram mean?
To revel.
Revel. Rama Ramanti, one who revel. And you can only revel in
joy.
So each name, if we take each name and we can understand it, then we will know that we are not pagans. We are people who are descendants of the Lord who is known as Brahman. But to make it easy for us to love Him, to dress Him, to bathe Him, to feed Him, He gave us these various forms. So when we know this, we can defend. And again I tell you, there's a young Pandit coming up here. Max Muller is responsible for all these misconceptions about Hinduism. Because he translated devatas as gods, and then he made it, we have 33 million gods, etc., etc. But because Hinduism for Europe and for the North Americas should be rewritten by someone who knows what Hinduism is. But what can I tell you? This is embedded now. It will be difficult to eradicate, but but if we have a strong representation of Hinduism, we can make these, we can lobby for all these things to change. But we're not in politics here, we're in Katha. और नंद जी या तुम्हारा पुत्र पले कहीं वसुदेव के घर भी पैदा हुआ था इसलिए इस रहस्य को जानने वाले लोग इसका नाम श्रीमान वासुदेव है because he was born in the home of Vasudev, his name is Vasudev. So if you when people read Vasudeva Sutam Devam, I hear Pandits over here read Vasudeva Sutam Devam. Vasudeva Sutam Devam means the son of that Vasudeva is Krishna. Vasudeva is the son of Krishna, whereas Krishna is the son of Vasudeva. So should we Vasudeva Sutam Kansachar at whatever the case may be. Or तुम्हारे पुत्र के गुण और कर्मों के अनुरूप और भी बहुत से नाम है भगवान का नाम अनंत है भगवान तो अनंत ही है उसकी आदि नहीं है मध्यम भी नहीं अंत भी नहीं है Lord is without beginning, without middle, without end. This is the Lord that we worship. This is the Lord that we pray to. और तुम्हारे पुत्र गुण और कर्मों के और गुणों. You know, there is a shloka in Satyanarayan Bhagavan Puja that we do. What? Gunatraya Gunatitam. No. Govinda Gunam Janatitam Janaki Ballabham Hari. He's beyond the gunas. We are subjected to the gunas. What are the gunas? Sato, Rajo, and Tamo. Most of us are tamasic because we sleep till 7 o'clock in the morning. So if you don't have to go to work, you sleep till 10. You see some. I have a nephew. If he's not going to work, he sleeps till 12. But if he got to go to work, he wakes up in time. But he's disciplined, very disciplined. But and also my children, if they don't go to work, they sleep. Yeah. Why do you have to get up? They're doctors, you know. They're beyond all this.
Yeah.
So they what they propose, you always pick up for them. Anyhow. Oh, tomorrow. So Tamogun is when you're extremely lazy. Rajagun, most of us are in Rajagun. Rajagun, we want action. But Satogun, sattvic nature, of course. और या तुम लोगों को परम कल्याण करेगा, समस्त गोप और गौओं को यह बहुत ही आनंदित करेगा। इसकी सहायता से तुम लोग बड़ी बड़ी विपत्तियों और बड़ी सुगमता से पार कर लोगे। And so because of him, he'll make himself in such a way that he'll help each and every one of you all who are in difficulty, in whatever the case may be, because Bhagwan makes himself small for all of us. यद्यपि सब सर्वज्ञ है, व्यापक गगन समान, यद्यपि सब सर्वज्ञ है, व्यापक गगन समान, पर निज भक्तों के लिए छूता है भगवान। हमारो धन राधा श्री राधा श्री राधा,
हमारो धन राधा श्री राधा श्री राधा,
परम धन राधा 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 राधा,
परम धन राधा 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 राधा,
परम धन राधा 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 राधा,
हाँ परम धन राधा 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 राधा, हमारो धन राधा श्री राधा श्री राधा, हमारो धन राधा
Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva.
बोलो श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। नारायण वासुदेवा, श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे।
You change the tabla with me midstream, right? और ब्रजराज, पूर्व काल में एक बार पृथ्वी में कोई राजा नहीं रह गया था. And he's saying to Nanda Baba is saying to all the gopis, at one time on this earth all the kings were destroyed. डाकुओं ने चारों लूट खसोट मचा रखी थी. तब तुम्हारे इसी पुत्र ने सज्जन पुरुषों की रक्षा की और इससे बल पाकर उन लोगों ने लुटेरों पर विजय प्राप्त है. भगवान has come to save this earth from time to time. जब जब होई धर्म के हानि, बारहे असुर अधम अभिमान.
जय जय गोपाला, जय नंद लाला, जय जय गोपाला.
जब जब होई धर्म की हानि, बारे असुर अधम अभिमानी. जब जब होई धर्म की हानि, बारे असुर अधम अभिमानी.
ओ जय नंद लाला, जय जय गोपाला, जय नंद लाला, जय जय गोपाला.
तब तब धरे प्रभु विविध शरीरा. तब तब धरे प्रभु विविध शरीरा. हरहु कृपा निधि सजन पीरा.
जय नंद लाला, जय जय गोपाला, जय नंद लाला, जय जय गोपाला.
Then Baba continued to tell them that Garg Maharaj told him that this your son was born from time to time to rid the earth of all evils, etc. Yada yada hi dharmasya gladirabhavati bharata abhyutam tana dharmasya padatmanam srajamam paritranaya sadhunam dharma sansthapanarthaya.
संभवामि युगे युगे.
He is born from time to time to rid this earth of all these evils. For the protection of Brahmins, saints and sages, Prabhu has born from time to time. Vipradhenu sura santahita nija malina manujayavatar nija ichha niramitatanu Maya Guna Gopa Hamaro Dhana Radha.
Shri Radha, Shri Radha, हमारो धन राधा, श्री राधा, श्री राधा.
Hamaro Dhana Radha 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 Radha.
हमारो धन राधा, 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 राधा. हमारो धन राधा, श्री राधा, श्री राधा. हमारो धन राधा, श्री राधा, श्री राधा.
Sri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari.
हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा. श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा.
Ya etasmin mahabhaga breathing kurvanti manava naraya vivatyena Vishnu हमारे इस सांवले शिशु प्रेम करते हैं वे बड़े भाग्यवान हैं। जैसे विष्णु भगवान के कर कमलों की छत्र छाया में रहने वाले देवताओं को असुर नहीं जीत सकते, वैसे ही इससे प्रेम करने वालों को भीतरी या बाहरी किसी भी प्रकार के शत्रु नहीं जीत सकते। Beautiful. Those who understand Hindi enjoy this song. When it translated to English, it loses its sweetness. Baat sach hai? Heard it? Heard it? When you have to translate it. When the Hindi, when it translated into English, the sweetness that is there in Hindi is lost. सच परिभोज और नरेंद्र जी चाहे जिस दृष्टि से देखे, गुण से, ऐश्वर्य और सौंदर्य से, कीर्ति और प्रभाव से तुम्हारा बालक स्वयं भगवान नारायण की समान है। Beautiful. And so Nanda Baba is telling the Gops and Gwals of Vrindavan, the one who is in dark in color. Govinda bolo bolo,
गोपाल बोलो,
Govinda bolo,
बोलो गोपाल बोलो,
Govinda bolo bolo, Gopal bolo,
गोविंद बोलो बोलो गोपाल बोलो,
Radha Raman Hare Govinda bolo,
ओ राधा रमण हरि गोविंद बोलो, कोई कहे
Govinda koi Gopala,
कोई कहे गोविंद कोई गोपाला,
मैं तो कहूँ सावरिया बांसुरिया वाला।
ओ मैं तो कहूँ सांवरिया बांसुरिया
जो
वाला,
तुम्हारे सांवले शिशुरे प्रेम करते हैं, those who love your son, this dark blue boy of Vrindavan, they will always remain in his chhatra chaya. They will always remain under that shield, that chhatra chaya, that umbrella, that shield which will prevent them from any difficulty, no difficulty whatsoever. But you have to have faith. If you don't have to, you have to have two things: faith, and what else? Huh? What else? Surrender. You remember I told you? Faith and surrender. When you surrender, it does not mean that you must open your mouth and wait for him to drop food in. No, you work, you pray, and you have that faith in him. And you ask that faith, O Prabhu, when I surrender to you, but all that has happened to me is because of your grace, because of your kripa. Daya dharam ka mool hai, naraka moolaya bhiman, tulsi daya na chadiye.
जब तक घट में प्राण,
Bolo Ram, bolo
बोल राम बोल श्याम राधे श्याम,
बोलो श्याम श्याम श्याम, बोलो श्याम श्याम श्याम, बोलो श्याम श्याम श्याम, राधे श्याम श्याम श्याम।
अतः इस बालक के अलौकिक कार्यों की देखकर आश्चर्य न करना चाहिए। गोपो, मुझे स्वयं गर्गाचार्य जी यह आदेश देकर अपने घर चले गए। तब से मैं अलौकिक और परम सुखद कर्म करने वाले इस बालक को भगवान नारायण ही अंश मानता हूँ। And then after Gargacharya told me this, I always respected him as Bhagwan. And that is why when he asked, I told you last night, when his mother told him that he's eating dirt, and he opened his mouth and he saw, his mother saw the whole universe in his mouth. Again, I want to remind you, our Vedas and our scriptures have told us that we have many universes. Up to recently, NASA was disputing that, but now they have confirmed that there are more than one universe. Whatever is written in our scriptures is only that we don't know. We don't understand, we don't know. Mathematics was invented by us. All these things were invented by us. But because we do not broadcast it, and we let people from the Middle East, they came and they said, you know what? We invented zero. So everybody thought it came from the Arabs. It didn't. They went and they were trading for spices, and they learned about the Pythagoras. Went to India, and there he learned about the Pythagoras theorem, and all his enunciations, etc., were done before by Aryabhat. But we have to read our scriptures. We have to understand. And when we understand, we can be able to defend it at any height. Do you know? Most of the Silicon Valley people today are who?
Indians.
Indians. Whether they came from Pakistan or not is irrelevant, because it was all India before, right? Not only Pakistan was India, Nepal was India, Bhutan was India, all these places were India. Indonesia means what? Indian islands. And the capital of Indonesia, people say Jakarta, right, Avinash? It's called Jakarta. That's the pronunciation for it. And up to today, on the Indonesian rupees, Ganesha is there. It can't be in India, because India is a secular country. In Indonesia, and I think in Indonesia Airlines, Garuda, right? Garuda. But what can I tell you? I get so passionate about this to tell you how great and rich this culture is, and we should try to keep it up. I would like that we should have a school here to teach, but you know what? People don't want to come to learn it. They want to come and learn science only, because they think only. I learned science, but I was fortunate to grow up in a home where these things were taught. And I'm not saying you must not learn science. Learn science, learn mathematics, learn computer, learn the art of medicine. But you have so much hours. Spend some time to learn about this pearl that is called Hinduism. This pearl that is called Hinduism. And be proud of it. Jo bhaje, Jo bhaje, page 56. Jo bhaje Hari ko sada, Jo bhaje Hari ko sada, wohi param pad paega, wohi param pad paega. Jo bhaje Hari ko sada, Jo bhaje Hari ko sada, wohi
परम पद पाएगा, वही परम पद पाएगा।
where does this? I forgot. Where did this mantra come from? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Where did it come from? Satya, where did it come from? Huh? No, which book, which text it came from? You are a follower of Sadhguru. What is Sadhguru say about that? Where is Hindu? Hindus are here today? How come you're here and Hindus not here? I thought all you all are like a oh, where you got what? Where's here you're a Sadhguru lady too? Are you a Sadhguru lady also? No, she doesn't. But there are two people, two Sadhguru. Only Hindus missing there now, right? Oh, she's in the kitchen. Oh, what a shame. What was I asking? Which book this Hare Krishna come from? I have told you that 10 times in this last 4 days. 10 times.
Begin with a U.
Huh?
Begin with a U.
Which Upanishad? No, there are 108 Upanishad. Kali Santarana Upanishad. Yeah. How did it happen? How did it happen?
From Brahma to
Narad went to Brahma. I said, Kali, what mantra can you give? And Brahma said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Kali Santarana Upanishad. Kali, it was difficulties, Santarana, to cross the difficulties. Use this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Sri Radhe Govind, Bhajo Man Shri Radhe.
Radhe Shri Radhe Govind, Bhaj Man Shri Radhe.
Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe.
Radhe Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Radhe.
Shri Radhe Govind, Bhajo Man Shri Radhe.
Radhe Shri Radhe Govind, Bhaj Man Shri Radhe. Radhe Radhe, 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 Radhe Radhe.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Sadguru Deva ki. Om Namah Parvati Pataye, Hara Hara Mahadeva. It's a pleasure to have Pandit Hardat and his young son, who is also a Pandit, Varun Bhuvan, who is also a Pandit. He has read in Guyana. Pandit Bhuvan read in Guyana. I was there when he was reading, and some people were going up there, but he was reading all the way up in Blairmont. Am I not right? That area, Cotton Tree. Where you come from? Yeah. That's where Pandit Hardat comes from. And by the way, Pandit Hardat does a good job in Cotton Tree Temple. Every time I pass there, I remember, I look at it, I go to New Amsterdam for the dialysis center, and we are opening a next dialysis center in Parika, and that will be opened, I hope, by the time I go in the middle of September, we're going to open it. So people who are, there are people from Essequibo who are coming to Annandale. Can you imagine how hard that is? And it is because of all your support. And Roy is doing a marathon on the 16th of October, and if you want to join in the marathon, please help. I see Bob straight in front of me. Every year, Bob gave us over $5,000 for our dialysis center. And today, of course, we remember Pandit Gaukaran Sharma, who passed away 28 years ago today. And we ask Bhagwan to bless his Dharmapatni is with us, my godchild. has come all the way from New York to tie my pagri. That's all she come to do, tie my pagri. When I see her, I'm afraid because I know I can't come here without the pagri. But if I don't see her, I know I can get away without coming to the pagri. But my sister in Florida tell me, say, oh, you look like Pa with the pagri now. I say, all right, okay. So they are happy to see me with pagri because they remember their father and so forth. Okay. G? Yeah, you go ahead. No?
प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय. So we have heard all the great Katha and the greatness of Pandit Hardat's grandfather. One thing I remember, I was told by my dad, this ashram that is so popular in the Caribbean, the Bharat Shivashram ashram in Kovanjan, the land was given by Risal Maharaj, and then Swami Purnanand was in his full glories. He sat down for 7 days and he listened to Panditji, his late Aja, reading Srimad Bhagvat Puran.
I was there.
Yes.
I attended that.
Yeah. So you can know the lineage that he has come from. I'll ask Panditji to say a few words. And I remember when Bhuvan read his first yag, we were there, Baba came too. And the very first night he read that shlok that Baba uses our team here, Janmadhasya. So he is in good hands. Not only that, when his father conducted 100 nights of satsang, today you can ask the children to come one night. Himself and his 2 sisters are supporting their dad even from home virtually to bring the message around. So these are good signs that our Dharma will be alive. Mandaji?
ॐ वंशी विभूषितकराननवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरादरुणबिम्बफलधरोष्ठात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखारविन्द्रनेत्र कृष्णात् पदं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतसंयुतं पिबत भागवतरसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावका सत्याव्रतं सत्यपरं त्रिसत्यं सत्यस्य योनि निहितं च सत्ये सत्यस्य सत्यामृतसत्यनेत्रं सत्यात्मकं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना निम्नगानां यथा गंगा दैवानामच्युतायुतं वैष्णवानां यथा शम्भो पुराणानामिदं तथा नमोऽस्तु ते व्यास विशालबुद्धे फुलारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्रं येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णं प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमया प्रदीपं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। बोले व्यास भगवान की, गुरु महाराज की, श्री कृष्ण कन्हैयालाल भगवान की। Pooch Vyasji, Baba, Dr. Dubey, and Pandit Bhoj, all our Pandits, devotees all, my pranam to all of you. And it is such a blissful moment to be here this morning in Katha. For the record, I listen to Vishnu Mandir's program very regularly. Up to last night I went home, and we go home late every night because we are doing every night satsang for Shravan Mahas at the temple. And yesterday we finished 22 days consecutively, Puja and Katha. But it is always refreshing to listen to Baba's Bhagvat. And to honestly, to be here in person, it is even more blissful. The acoustics, the environment, just the company and the energy of this Bhagvat is beautiful. This brings a lot of memory back to those who are accustomed to this. I think in Guyana or wherever you're from, we are from Barbies. So Katha is something that we grew up with. When I was little, when the Panditjis will come do Katha, we would leave in the summer, whether it was quarantine or wherever it is. You didn't have a lodging, you didn't have hotels, nothing. But you know that when you show up somewhere, we were little as children. But Gokra and Sharma used to come very regular to quarantine to do Katha. Bhagvat, 2 sessions a day. We'd pick up our bags and go without knowing anybody. But you know that when you go there, there's food twice a day at the Katha, so you can't worry about food. And somebody will see you somewhere, they'll pick you up and carry you there home to stay. But the environment was so blissful. And this here is a great reminder, we're reliving those moments, and it's important to connect back to our source. Bhavani Shankar Mandir, we don't copy, but we learn so much from Vishnu Mandir. When we started our project, our Mandir, and this has happened for 29 years, we started Bhagavad Katha outside as well. It has served our people nice. The community come out, they sit down, they relax, they enjoy the nature and everything else. And it's such a great thing to be here. Adi Shankaracharya tells us, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudmate, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudmate, Samprapte, Samnihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati, Dukrin Kar De, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudmate, Satsangatve Nisangatvam, Nisangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nischalitatvam, Nischalitatve Jivan Mukti, Nischalitatve Jivan Mukti. Satsangatve Nisangatvam, Nisangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nischalitatvam, Nischalitatve Jivan Mukti. This here, Satsang, brings us Jivan Mukti. Mukti, freedom while we are alive. Free from everything. Free from opinions, free from judgment, free from illness, free from interactions with the world. We are free when we are in Satsang. And that's how I feel this morning. Coming here for a few hours to be free and to be detached. It is such a beautiful environment. We are so thankful to Vishnu Mandir for the guidance that they have given our young temple and me as a young person in my life. We knew nothing, very little. And we watch what they do. We try to copy a little bit here and there with Pandit Bhoj's guys and Dr. Dubey. And we learn as much as we can from this great institution that upholds such old tradition. I'm so happy to be here this morning. It's always great to be in Baba's company. He's always spoke so great of our lineage. I hope and pray that the ancestors' blessings will always be with us. And anytime I listen, there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. Last night, I wrote down a little bit because when he mentioned how Bhagwan Shri Krishna came in touch with, Kalya and Trinavrata and, the purification of the 5 elements, I thought it was a very beautiful touch to the Bhagavad Katha. I think I'll be using that next week. Our Bhagavad Katha starts on the 11th of August and finishes on the 17th. And this year we wouldn't do it outside because our tent got blown away and destroyed, but we'll figure that out next year. Nice to be here, Baba. Always beautiful to be here, Vishnu Mandir.
Very glad to have you here.
Thank you very much, Panditji.
Let's ask his Pandit who want to say at least a shlok at least.
Come, Bhuvan. Apaye.
We have to encourage the young Pandits.
Om ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्नमभीष्टदोहं तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरिञ्चितनुतं शरण्यं वृत्यार्तिहं प्रणतपालभवाभिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दं त्यक्त्वा सुदस्य जसुरेप्सितराजलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठ आर्यवचसा यदगादरण्यं मायामृगं दैतयेप्सितमन्वदावत् वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दं प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय.
Very nice.
Very good.
Very beautiful and very correct way of saying this shloka. You hardly have any pundits here who does this correctly. Very nicely. Very
Yeah,
pleased.
that sloka came from the Bhagvat Puran, Baba.
Yeah.
The 12th skand, I think, or the 11th. So it was very nice to hear Bhuvan. Today we have a host of sponsors, starting from this Soni ji, followed by, is S all the time, Soni, Shanti, Saroj, and also Rani. So Rani Sethi ji is part of the sponsor. My sister-in-law also contributed a little. So we like you to, there's a little shift in the regular arrangement. Today you'll be fed indoor. So you can have your prasad inside and please enjoy it. This afternoon, Devi Puja starts at 5:45. We come out here about 6:30 for the Bedi Puja, and then Katha continues. Today is also a very dear friend of ours, and it's like my godson, Prakash Narayan. He's mourning at this time, but we ask God to give him strength. He would have had a Katha next week, but because someone passed away, that had to be cancelled. So we ask that Bhagwan, he's always a very hard worker for the community, for any mandir, and also for our mandir. So we wish you a very, very happy birthday, Prakash. He's not Prakash Gosai, it's Prakash Narayan. So this brings us to the end of the puja, and we will stand now for Aarti, followed by Prasad.
भगवत कथा सबको प्यारा,
भगवत कथा हमको प्यारा प्यारा,
भगवत कथा हमको प्यारा,
धुंधुकारी एक प्रेत महाकल, धुंधुकारी एक प्रेत महाकल, इसी कथा से होगा पारा प्यारा,
भगवत कथा हमको प्यारा,
भगवत कथा हमको प्यारा
प्यारा, भगवत कथा सबको प्यारा,
जा मिल महायक पापी, जा मिल महायक पापी, नारायण नाम पुकारा प्यारा,
भगवत कथा हमको प्यारा,
भगवत कथा सबको प्यारा
प्यारा, भगवत कथा हमको प्यारा,
गुरु सभा में द्रौपदी रोए, गुरु सभा में द्रौपदी
द्रौपदी रोई,
कृष्ण ही कृष्ण पुकारा प्यारा,
भगवत कथा हमको प्यारा,
भगवत कथा सबको प्यारा
प्यारा, भगवत कथा हमको प्यारा,
गजेंद्र महायक दुखिया, गजेंद्र महायक दुखिया, नारायण नाम पुकारा प्यारा,
भगवत कथा
सबको प्यारा, भगवत कथा हमको प्यारा
प्यारा, भगवत कथा सबको प्यारा,
देवं कंसचारूणमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे
प्रेम से बोलो कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। व्यास जी भगवान की, सब संतन की जय जय। सीताराम हरिहर। Please take your aarti and your prasad, and bhojan is served inside. Yeah, yeah.